not exact, but Sharlston were founded in 1881. And as of today, that's 127 years of amateur rugby league football played on this little pitch. The village lies in the heart of West Yorkshire's professional rugby league clubs. Sharlston in 1895 got their first ever trophy and they were crowned Wakefield and District champions. A lot of trophies have followed since then, and certainly a lot of high-class profile rugby league players have come from within this village. Herbert Goodfellow, Carl Dooler, and of course the Fox brothers, who ironically lived only just across the road from this famous pitch which has always been known as Back at Twall. Now the Queen's Club have not been around as long as that, and records show that in the early 70s their base was on Burley Road in Leeds. And although there have been changes of venue like Royal Park, Little Park, Newlands, they have remained in the Burley Road area of Leeds. Since 1996, Queens have grown their own talent, and with most of the side coming through the junior sector of the club, they are now a force to be reckoned with. Another season, Greg, and yet another final.
Yeah, it's another final. I think we've got the same problems as we had in 2005-06, where there's one or two lads going to be disappointed a little bit. But I do think we have a stronger side, and I don't think there's as many disappointments as there was in 2006. So I don't think it has been as hard for Andy to pick the team today.
And obviously we just spoke about Andy, a new coach. Do you think he's brought new ideas and new things to the club?
Yeah, he's been refreshing to this club, has Andy. Everybody knew that Gordy Long was a big hole to fill, but Andy's done that, and he's done that, without doubt. He's been absolutely fantastic this season, and then the supporters and the players, he's captured everyone's heart, and he's really done a good job so far this season.
And not only have you got a new coach, but also you've had an influx of new players. Do you think that's a factor in the way that the team's been playing this year?
Oh yeah, Andy has brought some new names to the club, some great names and all, some great rugby league football players, and he has now got an all-round squad which can fire from any position. We can score tries from all over the field, and he really has got a really good squad together, and he's done a good job, as Andy, a very good job.
Both teams today have got fantastic records, both unbeaten. It's going to be a hell of a game, isn't it?
Yeah, this game, it's got all the makings of a classic. They're both near the top for the tough tackling table. Both teams only concede about 8 or 9 points, so it's going to be a really tough match. I do think, to be quite honest, that Sharlston has got the little bit of an edge, and I can see him being a little bit of a favourite because they're playing a stronger league than Queens, and we have to play stronger opposition week in, week out. But not taking it off Queens, they'll be up for it, they'll be a good side, and like I say, it's got all the makings of a classic game.
Both teams undefeated in their respective leagues. Both teams have rock-solid defences. And last but not least, both teams have a high try-scoring record, which no other team in their leagues look like surpassing. If you put that into the mix, then we should be getting something special out of the fiery oven down at Post Office Road this afternoon. Andy, a 100% record so far, 219 points for, 30 against. This is pretty impressive reading. So, where does the secret lie?
On the paddock on a Tuesday and Thursday, a lot has been placed on his defence. We know it's not his biggest part of his game, but over the last couple of games, it's bared fruit. A lot of training drills, as you know, David, and just the will to win, the will to stop our opposition from scoring. We've tried to make our own games, our own pretty much of a fortress. So again, as I say, a lot of the emphasis has been put on a lot of the training and a lot of the defensive drills that we've tried to install.
When I went to the club at the beginning of this year, we had a good look at the team, and we highlighted that obviously a few weaknesses. So we brought players in to strengthen the side, and the fortunate thing is that they've all gelled together, and we've got quite a lot of strength in depth now. And the players, you know, they've done it themselves probably because, you know, they train regular and, you know, they're fitted in nice together.
Well, you don't really need to motivate yourself when it comes to these games. I think it goes without saying, it's Yorkshire Cup final. That's one thing. But again, playing against one of your great rivals in Sharlston is another. We've done his homework on Sharlston, and I dare say they've done their own work on us. But over the say 4 or 5 seasons previous, the Yorkshire Cup rivals, they've always seemed to have that one up on us when it comes to like the big games, the top 4 playoffs and so on. So yeah, knowing that it's a Yorkshire Cup final and obviously against Sharlston, the guys are up for it. That relatively young side that we've got. A lot of the guys have been promoted from the under-18s that we had last season, so they're up for it. They're up for the challenge.
We've practiced all week. It's going to be a tough encounter, you know, against a physical Queen's side, and you know, we're not underestimating them at all. And I think if we play to us game plan and stick to what we've been doing, you know, they're going to have to beat us as well. And I think you know, our game plan, you know, they've got to live up to that, and I don't think they will.
Major matches or finals sometimes need a player or players to excel and take the team forward. And just, you know, in your opinion, who have been doing that for you this year?
I think you're right in you saying we've got players rather than looking at individuals, but it's been a good team effort. If I had to single people out, I'd look at organisational around the outsides of the ruck, from Johnny Milner, Carl Luke has marshalled the guys both up and down the field, and I'd also say Robin Wilkes has been tremendous going forward with the ball in hand.
One of the outstanding players for us this year has been Craig Miles. But there's been quite a few key players in the side. Gaz Davis and John Waddle in the centres have been outstanding, scoring plenty of tries and setting a lot of tries up. But the outstanding player so far, obviously Craig Miles, he's just a mountain of strength for the side.
Out of the team's game plan for today, if you could take one aspect of that game plan that would win you the game, what do you think it would be?
I think I'd look for 2. I'd look for definitely his discipline. It's not been the best in recent years, and that's something again that we've worked on. But I think above all else, it's got to be his defence. The points scored for or against is kind of like prove that. But we know that we're up against a class side in Sharlston. We know that they're like ourselves, have got power right across the field. But yeah, if you had to look at it, we'd look at his defence.
Well, we're going to play it fast. We're going to play it at our level, and I think, you know, I've watched Queens this season, and you know, I don't think they're as fit as us. And I think if we can maintain that for 80 minutes, as enthusiasm and as you know, playing the game at our pace, and I think that's where it's going to lie. But obviously, you know, they've got to rattle us and stop that momentum, which I'm sure they'll try and do.
Andy, nice to meet you. Queens, Sharlston.
You know, trust me, it's rugby all league you call. It's rugby, mate. You want to kick off or choose an end to start?
I want to choose end. Yeah, I want to play uphill.
Play uphill, alright. You're kicking off downhill, mate. Alright. Any issues today? I'll go through you guys. You've got a question, I'll go through yourselves, alright? I'll explain myself. Alright, best of luck, fellas. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, here we are then at Featherstone Rovers. for this Yorkshire Cup final between Queens of Leeds and Sharlston Rovers in the Wakefield area. Massive crowd here today on this wonderful cold and brisk day. And as the team lines up, to be presented to the dignitaries for today's game, the teams go something like this. For Sharlston at number 1, Lee Maskell. 2 is Dale Potter. 3, Jonathan Waddell. 4, Gareth Davis. 5, John Kopchik. 6, Danny Grimshaw. 7, Matty Bell. 8, Danny Burton. 9, Carl Saville. 10, James Lockwood. 11, Steve Hall. 12, Keith Brook. 13, Craig Miles. 14, Craig Duda. 15, Lee Kelly. 16, Kevin Dickens. And 17, Andy Booth. And looking at the Queens lineup, Chris Munden is at fullback. Tom Prim is at 2. Dean Townend at 3. Steve Morton at 4. Jonathan Winter at 5. Jonathan Milner at 6. Ryan Robinson at 7. Matt Gummerson at 8. Carl Luke at 9. James Brown 10. Andrew Alley at 11. Craig Boot 12. Robin Wilkes 13. Chris Fletcher 14. Scott Houston 15. Simon Cook 16. And Robert Crump 17. Well, records speak nothing really, it's what happens on the day. Sharlston have contested in 8 Yorkshire Cup finals, winning 4. The last of those in 05-06 when they defeated Queensbury at Dewsbury in a very hard fought 21-18 victory. As for Queens, they have been finalists on 2 occasions, losing in 03-04 but winning it 10 years ago, defeating Clayton 13-9. Lots of water has gone under the bridge since then. Changes of coaching and playing staff will have a significant difference on how both teams line up and perform today. When any team reaches a final, it's just reward for all the hard work that team has put in so far this season, and to play at a professional ground, looking as well as Featherstone does, that's just the icing on the cake. There's going to be a minute's silence just before this encounter for Lee McTeague, who sadly passed away at the very young age of 27. Well, there's a wonderful crowd here at Post Office Road, and they're all here to watch this fantastic spectacle of rugby league which has been promised from these 2 teams. Both got outstanding records so far this season, both undefeated. At the end of the 80 minutes, which of these 2 teams will be the strongest and the fittest? Because I believe that is what it's going to take to win this victory this afternoon. When the game gets underway, Matty Bell hoists the ball high. Robinson the taker, and just look at how many Sharlston players are in at the tackle. It's a nice little run away from the 20-metre area. Queens just struggling a little bit just to get out of their own quarter. And that's moving it wide. That's a good tackle from Dale Potter. And that's Milner, who's been entrusted with the kicking duties today. And according to assistant coach Andy Wilson, He's been leading his team around the field all season. Lockwood then drives hard, but met strongly by Carl Luke. And he felt that, did Lockie? Saville just tries to catch Queens asleep around the ruck, but it's not worked. As the loose forward, Robin Wilkes made the tackle. It's a great take, drops the ball, and it's a little knock on. So a nice little chip kick has resulted in the first error of today's play, and Sharlston get a chance to maybe grab the first points of the game, which is always important in a big game. Matty Bell feeds the scrum and then looks to Maskell. Maskell looking to take on his opposite number, but this time Munden is the victor. Sharlston just within about 9 metres of the Queen's line. And that's Craig Mills, who's been influential for the Sharlston side this year so far. Grimshaw had a spell with York and been quite successful too. Danny Burton just having a tilt, and Saville darts off from acting half-back. Can Saville get there? It's good pressure from Sharlston, but something that's been apparent in the way that Queens have played this season is the strong defence, and the defence was extremely strong there under pressure. But Queens are under pressure, not being out of their own 40 with the ball in hand. It's a strong run from Gummersall, and whilst trying to regain his feet, the Sharlston players would not allow him to do so, and so the first penalty of the game has been given to Queens, and that's Milner. Good kick towards touch from Milner, brings his side into the Sharlston half for the first time. Milner again switching the play, trying to get some width, and that's a great offload in the tackle, and it's Munden, steps back inside, but Waddle there just makes sure that there's no yardage made from the centre, but the loose forward darts off from acting half-back, that's Wilkes. So dangerous times for Sharlston. Queen's building pressure. Milner shows and goes, but there's no space for him. And Robinson then goes to the right hand side of the field, tries to get the ball away. Robinson picks up. First of all, the touch judge says that it was play on. The referee's seen something different. He's given the head and feet to Sharlston. So nothing much between the sides in the early exchanges. Maskell, Great Britain international, just brings his side towards the 20-metre line, and Lockwood, who's had a spell with Wakefield and not keeping control of the ball, loses possession. Although there was a hint of ball stealing there, I firmly believe, but you make your own luck in the game of rugby league football. So Milner puts in, and then Robinson takes on the defence, but met by Grimshaw and Maskell. Luke controlling things from the ruck area. Starts off from acting half-back. And in a lot of respects, when you thought that the referee just may have played a little bit of advantage, didn't do so. And Luke darted off and almost took advantage of some poor defensive duties from some of the defenders of Sharlston, but caught offside, and it's given Queens the chance to take some early points. Around the corner kicker. And he's missed it. And it came back off the posts. But Danny Burton couldn't hold on to it, so there's still pressure from the Queen's side. And they have the head and feed at this scrum. Wilkes passes it to the... Oh, he's in touch, I think. Exceptional work from Tom Prim. Got round his opposite number, John Kopchik. But John Kopchik just did enough to grab the legs of Tom Prim and just put the legs into touch. The touch judge was right there. It's a good decision from the touch judge, but it just looked for a second as if Prim had rounded his man and maybe got the first points on the board for Queens. However, it's Lockwood then, this time bringing the ball away, and he's met strongly by Morton. And that's Burton carrying the ball forward for Sharlston. Saville then, in the absence of Bettinson, doing extremely well this year. Maskell on the charge and almost gets through. Got lots of pace, Lee Maskell, and if he gets clear, can hurt defences. That's a chip over the top from Craig Miles. But exceptional work from Jonathan Winter. Saw that there was some danger on and intercepted the ball just before Craig Miles could get to it. Exceptional work and well congratulated by his teammates. But enterprising rugby from Miles. Saw that Queens were up quick. From that play, the ball chipped over the top and almost got there. So there's been flashes of what this game is going to unfold into, and that's a classic. It's a good strong drive from Gummersall. Wilkes in at the acting half-back area. And Andrew Alley. Queens with Luke at acting halfback. Wilkes shifts the ball onto Robinson. Robinson looking for a short pass, which Townend came onto, but the referee has seen that the ball is travelled in a forward direction, and therefore Sharlston get the head and feed at this scrum, and it'll be Grimshaw to put the ball in. Grimshaw to Maskell. Maskell just bobs underneath the tackle, but just can't quite get clear as Bell goes in. And then Steve Hall takes the ball up to the halfway line. Saville to Lockwood. Lockwood met by Luke. Having a fantastic game so far, this Luke, although he took a big shot then, and it's Waddle quite strong. So Sharlston building the pressure, the game flowing from end to end, which is what we all expected it to. Grimshaw looks for the... Oh, and it's a poor pass. It's extremely poor pass from Keith Brook, and intercepted by the Queen's player. And the game flows again in the opposite direction. It's warming the cockles of the hearts and the cold hands of the spectators sat in the stand as Queens now attack to this near side, and that's a great ball, and he's away, he's the winger. Well, He didn't look to be in touch. Well, I'll probably have to look at the replay just to see if his foot actually did touch the whitewash. I feel a little bit hard done by. There's already a lot for both sorts of spectators to shout at today. Grimshaw to Davis. Davis, the scorer of over 20 tries so far this season, and has always been regarded as a threat when he's playing against any team. Grimshaw got pace, and he can actually open defences at will if he's given the space. And this is Brook. So Sharlston then edging the way towards the 20-metre line of the Queen's defence. Grimshaw once more to Bell. Bell looking. Gets it away to Waddle. Both defences on top, which is what we thought would happen. And that's Hall. It's a strong tackle as well from the Queen's boys. As Saville moves in, Grimshaw gets the ball. The ball goes high and into the corner, but it's again well taken by Dean Townend in the centre for Queens. That's the second time that Townend has taken the ball under immense pressure. And Gummersall's worked hard so far in the early stages of this game. Luke passes the ball, and Wilkes has to trap it and then pick it up, which gives Bell and Lockwood a chance to get into his face. And that's Milner. Milner kicks over the top of the touch. I thought it did, yes. Kicks over the top, and the ball lands on the touch line, which means that the ball has to come back, and with it being the last play, and it's the handover. Touch judge below us, not having the best of performances today. Lockwood then trundles the ball forward, centre field, about 30 out. Nice short ball from Danny Burton, and Craig Miles came on the charge but was caught a little bit high. The referee had no choice there but to award the penalty. And you can tell by the cheers, the claps that have gone ringing round this ground that Bell has been successful, and the first points of the game have been scored. Sharlston lead 2 points to 0. There's nothing between the two sides at the moment. Both defences very strong, and both sides have been throwing the ball about, trying to get some width in the game. So the Sharlston team, Waddle was a little bit asleep then. The ball bounced awkwardly as well, and Queens were almost onto that in a flash, and had they have been, anything could have happened, but the ball was knocked forward. So Sharlston breathe again. Maskell again taking the ball forward, and Saville in, and this is Brook taking the ball forward. Saville again controlling things around the ruck. Lockwood comes on the charge, but Luke meets him. This young hooker from Queens, this Luke, he's had a fantastic game. He's been in everything, especially in the defensive duties. That's Hall. Hall uses the fend, but just can't get round the big centre. It's Morton step from Grimshaw, but uses his own player, I think. Yes, there's a little bit of obstruction. So Queens get the penalty and Milner puts the ball safely into touch. And Gummersall trundles the ball forward and brushes off the first attempt of Miles. But he gets there second time round. Wilkes takes the ball forward. Only a small, slight lad, but looks very wick and very agile on his feet. Robinson looking to go across the field this time. Drops off the centre. Townend. No way through for Townend. The defence is strong. But this is Robinson. Robinson attacking the line on the right-hand side of the Queen's attack. And this is Luke. Looking forward. Looking to go from acting half-back is Luke. Helped by his teammates, but the defence is strong. We're on the fifth and last. What have Queens got to offer here? It's Milner. Milner looking to kick the ball towards the corner. The ball's been dropped. It's been picked up one more time. Has he got a chance to go over? Well, the touch judge again goes forward and stands on the corner as if the try is acceptable in his view. The referee once again overrules him, says that the ball was not forward, and so therefore a scrum is awarded to Sharlston. But some enterprising play from Queens. They worked the right hand side of their attack, and with a long raking kick from Milner, almost got over in the corner. So it's Sharlston at the moment that are under the cosh. Most of the play has been spent in their half of the field. That's a great run from Danny Burton. Both number 8s have had outstanding games taking the team forward. Grimshaw looks to put the ball downfield, and it's Chris Munden who gathers for Queens. And Jonathan Winter darts off from acting half-back, moves up and tries to play the ball quickly, and then Milner just tells him that just to calm it down a little bit. Touch judge is on the field. The referee waves him away. Obviously nothing too serious. But Milner looking to just to gain some yardage for his side, but opts a little bit more for security. And so therefore, tap 10 metres in, just on the halfway line. Gummersall met by Miles and by Burton. That's Andy Alley. Another penalty. And what was touched on, I think by both coaches really, prior to the game, was whether or not teams could hold the discipline in a final. And that's James Brown, who really charged hard and strong into the heart of the Sharlston defence, which held solid. That's Luke to Milner. Milner to Robinson. Robinson looking for Townend. Townend tries to step inside. Davison does so. And he's still going strong. Is Townend? Is he going to get there? No, it's just weight of numbers that stop him from going over. But this is dangerous times for Sharlston. And Wilkes looking to offload the ball and does so. And Gummersall a little bit disappointed with himself there for not holding on to the ball, but it was bouncing about awkwardly. But Sharlston there have held out. It's immense pressure now been forced upon them by this Queen's outfit, and as I say, for the last 10 minutes or so, Sharlston have been really hanging on. They've been inside their own 20 for quite a large number of minutes now, and if Queens can, they want to turn pressure into points, I'm sure. And that's Hall running strong. Lockwood taking the ball forward. He's been hit by Ali. Burton let's go to Brook. Brook almost gets away, but as it is, they're on the halfway line. It's a great ball. Absolutely fantastic ball. And Kopchik was away. Grimshaw hoisting the ball high. It's looking dangerous. He's dropped the ball. Miles is chasing it, but Munden just sweeps and tidies up for Queens. Morton brings the ball away, and Winter in at the acting halfback, and darts away and just grabs his team valuable metres. Chris Fletcher has entered the field. It's a nice little step from James Brown. You don't see that very often these days from a prop forward. A side step to be proud of. Milner chipping over the top as he caught Sharlston asleep. He has! Milner goes through, looks to pass long. This is Prim, it's not bounced properly for him, but Prim still taking the ball forward and gets rid of it. Substitute looking to try and catch Sharlston asleep on that right hand side. The left hand side defence of Sharlston is being attacked quite often by Queens. Lovely little chip over the top there from Milner. Gathered his own kick. Just couldn't get the pass to hand. Had it have gone to hand, who knows, it could have well been the first try of the morning. Lockwood then to try and bring his team away. That's a strong drive from James Lockwood. This is Burton. Burton gets rid of the ball. Miles, what can Miles do? Steps inside, but Brown clings on. And that's Hall. It's a one-on-one steal. So yeah, it's a one-on-one steal. The ball's hit the deck, so the tackle count starts again, and that's Saville to Grimshaw. Grimshaw trying to do something and trying to get out of his own half. Grimshaw, quick play the ball. Saville runs off. That's a better run from acting half-back, but it's strong defence from Queens. The game starting to heat up now as Hall takes the ball forward. He's run hard and strong as Hall, and he's made the Queens defence work to stop him. Brook tries to offload to Lockwood. Lockwood rides the high shot. Bell looking to kick the ball into the corner. It's a cracking kick. Oh, but absolutely well taken by Winter. And this is Morton taking the ball up to the 30. It's fast, it's furious. It's everything that the game was built to be. It's a clash of the Titans, both defences really rock solid. And Wilkes goes forward. Tireless worker is Wilkes. This is Chris Fletcher, lets the ball go. And that's James Brown, showing a nice pair of hands. Luke in at acting half-back, looking for Milner. Milner then to the other substitute, who gets rid of the ball in the tackle. Queens seem to be attacking the left-hand side of Sharlston. Maybe they've seen a weakness, I don't know, but that's Milner. Milner hoists the high kick. Oh, that's a great take from Maskell. I think it came off the head of Dale Potter, but Maskell alert to it, and he cleaned up pretty nicely, and he needed to as well, because had the ball have gone to either side of him, and that could have well been the first score of the afternoon. Lockwood. Saville to Hall. Some graft from the second row forward. Hall. That's a penalty. Could not regain his feet. Tried his best to regain his feet, but was held down by two Queen's tacklers. And onto the field comes Kevin Dickens. Now, Kevin Dickens has represented Great Britain at the Barlow level. And Kevin can go forward, and one of his fortes is to go forward, hold off players and offload in the tackle. The score is still 2-0 to Sharlston, courtesy of the boot of Matty Bell. So Saville gets the game underway again, and that's Lockwood. Lockwood goes forward. Saville in at acting half-back once more. Kevin Dickens for his first touch of the game, runs forward, hard and strong. And look, that's what his forte is, going in and getting rid of the tackle. Grimshaw drops off. I think it was Brook. Gareth Davis looking to step out of acting half-back. Prolific try scorer is Davis. Sharlston be looking for a big game from him. Grimshaw looking to pass the ball on to Bell. Bell moves it out to Hall. Hall tries to dummy the defence, but Milner's on hand. Milner takes him down. Waddell still moving forward. We're on the fifth and last tackle. Bell in at first receiver, but Lockwood decides to go himself. Not really what the doctor ordered that, and I'm sure Andy Fisher at half-time will have a word with Lockie and just say that the kicking duties should be through the half-backs, I'm sure. But it's another intense spell of pressure from Sharlston, and the Queen's defence held solid, and look what they've just done now. Bad defending. That gets the Queen's side up to halfway line. They're attacking once more down the left-hand side of Sharlston's defence. Luke to Fletcher. Lost the ball. It's been raked out. And that's a needless penalty. When games are tight, just like they are right now at 2 points to 0, then the last thing that you want is for your players to be giving penalties away in a kickable area of the field. But he's not opted for the goal, he's opted for pressure. He's opted for some field position. And that's Scott Houston just freshly onto the field. Looking for Feather to take the ball forward. But Dickens looks after him, and Miles is in there as well. Milner, what can Milner do? Yes, I think so. I think there was interference at the play of the ball. He didn't roll away. Now then will he take a kick? It's a little bit closer to the sticks this time, and yes, he points to it. And the kick should be relatively easy. And it is. So 2 points each now in this final. The kick was not quite fielded by Robinson. And Sharlston charged down towards the try line, and because of the lack of urgency in getting the ball away from their own try line, Queens have been caught in possession, pushed back over their own line, and now they've been forced to drop out from underneath the sticks. So it's Sharlston's chance, with 6 minutes left, to maybe get the first score on the board. but it's a good kick, poorly fielded by James Lockwood, but Dale Potter looking to give it to Hall. Hall to charge forward and bring the play into centre field, some 30 metres or so out, and that's another penalty. And just like Sharlston did at the other end, they've given a penalty away in a kickable area of the field, and it's an almost identical position to where Matty Bell landed his first penalty opportunity. Matty Bell, successful. Now that's a message to the coach, isn't it? For something to be said at half-time. You know, if you give Matty Bell the opportunity from a penalty around that area, you know he's going to pop it over. He's been successful. And it's not just gone over the sticks, it's gone straight through the centre on both occasions. So if I was the coach, I would be saying, you know, we need to sort of keep our discipline in that area of the field. So Milner to restart the game. Milner looking to put the ball high, and Maskell takes it and then turns and almost gets away. Lee Maskell. Saville then to Craig Miles. Craig Miles, according to Coach Andy Fisher, has been exemplary this year. He's set the standard for the team to follow. And Andy Booth, fresh onto the field, just makes a big charging run, and that's a kick down the field from Grimshaw. It turns the Queen's defence around, but Munden's there. But Munden, very cool under pressure, lets the ball roll into touch. I'm sure that Queens will take heart from the fact that they've only conceded 2 points and they're going in the game at half-time all square. Or with just under 3 minutes left and with the ball at hand, you would think that's how it will stay. But in this great game of ours, you never know. That's Winter. Winter makes the break and almost gets clear. Oh, he's had an outstanding game so far as the winger. Wilkes, Fletcher. Fletcher steps inside and looks to try and offload, but it's not there. Wilkes then urged on and spurred on by Robinson. Robinson looking for Milner. Milner spreading the ball wide. Nothing available for him though. Wilkes once more into acting halfback. Looks to this short side. And that's back to one. So James Brown kicked the ball, and the referee said that it was played at by a Sharlston defender. So Wilkes then. Wilkes looking for Robert Crump. Robert Crump fresh onto the field. James Brown. Brown looking to get free. Can't do so, but up to quick play the ball. Wilkes. Wilkes to Fletcher. Fletcher looking to offload. It's Townend. Townend steps inside, but this time Davis is strong and holds on. End-to-end stuff. Robinson. Robinson. And this looking as if they're stacking up this left-hand side. They're going to attack the left-hand side. Milner, what's Milner going to do? He's looking to shove the ball inside, gets the ball. Oh! Now then, the referee had blown up and given a forward pass before it hit Bell, because it hit Bell and went over the try line. Had the pass have been okay, that would have been a try, no problem. But because the ball went forward, the referee was right on hand, and he's had a clever game as the referee, and he's not fazed by anybody either, because there's been a lot of people complaining and one thing and another, but he's stuck strong and firm in his decisions. Dickens into the defender, pushes off, really strong is Dickens, trying to get the ball free. Saville to Grimshaw. Grimshaw feeds Booth knocked to the floor. This time Grimshaw looking to pass. Oh, Grimshaw almost finding a way through. It's going to take something like that, you know, to break one of these defences from either side. It's going to have to be a little bit of something special, because both sides are locked. Morton then, he's back to cover, and the big centre looks to try and take on the Sharlston defence on the outside, but Potter and Waddle combine to bring him down. Winter steps inside. And that's the end of the first half, and what can you say about it? We've mentioned, through pre-match interviews, we've mentioned that the sides are evenly locked. They were evenly locked. If it hadn't have been for the fact that Bell's penalty kick just in the last 3 minutes of this first half have just edged Sharlston in front 4 points to 2. Nothing between the sides. It's been a fantastic spectacle of amateur rugby league, and let's hope that the second half gives us more of that to come. Well, both sides now have taken the field for this second half of the Yorkshire Cup final. I know we keep saying it, but both sides have got exemplary records in their respective leagues. Both undefeated, and there's very little in between the two sides today. 4 points to 2. A very close call. And I think it's going to take just a small piece of brilliance from one individual that will perhaps seal the difference between the two sides as Milner gets the game underway. And Bell collects and gives it to Hall, who's had an outstanding game. He's driven hard and strong as Hall down the right hand side of the field as Davis charges forward, but Fletcher takes care of him. Saville to Lockwood just takes it up this slope at Featherstone Rovers, and that's Matty Bell looking to go forward, shaped up to kick at first and decided better of it. Saville then giving it to Grimshaw this time perhaps kicks, no, pushed it wide to Mild, and that's a forward pass, and we could see that it was a forward pass. The referee had a fantastic game so far. I think he's been right in all his decisions and controlling the game so well. Robinson looking to feed Milner perhaps. Yes, he does. Milner looking then for Townend steps inside his man and almost gets free. He's strong, is Townend. An outstanding game both in attack and defence. His centre partner Morton runs down that short side. Brown gets just inside the Sharlston 20. This is Fletcher uses the runner Wilkes as a foil and then steps back inside and just 10 metres out centre field, so they've got two attacking options, although they're stacked to the right hand side, but it goes to the left, and that's Wilkes taken down on the last tackle. Was it? No, it's a penalty, so not marking square. So what is Wilkes going to do? Yes, there's a lot of shouting from the coaching staff of the Queen's bench, and they're saying take the two. And this time the kick is successful. 4 points each. Bell to get the game underway. It's a big kick. Oh dear. And that's a bad decision from the Queen's defensive line. Thought that the ball was going to go out on the full, and it landed, as far as I'm concerned, a good 2 foot inside the dead ball line, and therefore Queens are going to have to drop out underneath their own posts. So they scored at one end, and as of many occasions, and you see it sometimes at professional level, concentration does lapse and the other team comes up and makes an error. Hall's driven hard and strong, and he has done all game. credit to the second row forward, and Burton's had an outstanding game for Sharlston. He's took his team forward and he's led by example as Saville goes into acting half-back and feeds Lockwood, and Lockwood drives hard and strong. And he's almost centre field, about 12 metres out. Saville looking to pass to Grimshaw. Grimshaw gets the ball. What's on here for Sharlston? Miles looking down the short side, but fantastic defence from Townend. Absolutely fantastic. He's been absolutely outstanding all game, Townend. And this is Brook. Brook looking to try and find some chink in the armour. Saville a little chip through. Davis looking forward, and that's the first try of the game. Fantastic enterprise from Saville at acting half-back. Shot off, and just a little chip through behind the defensive line. Queens couldn't turn round, and who was there? Gareth Davis, the scorer of 20 tries or more this season, but there's none more important than that, and that's the first try of the game. 45 minutes worth of rugby here in this Yorkshire Cup final, and that man Davis. And we said that it might take a moment of brilliance to open the scoring, and that was a fantastic piece of work from Saville as he sped away from the ruck and just chipped the ball behind the defence for Davis to beat the cover to the ball and dive on it in the corner. It's looking good, it's looking straight. Oh, it's hit the crossbar. Unlucky for Sharlston and for Matty Bell. It was an exceptional attempt. It hit the bar and it come back out. 8 points to 4 in Sharlston favour. It's going to be very difficult for both attacks to break either of this defence down. It's going to either be a kick or just a piece of sheer brilliance that does split a defence, and perhaps in the latter stages when both teams are tiring. But it was the kick that did the damage on that instance as Hall brings the ball forward for Sharlston, and Saville in, and Miles takes the ball forward. Only a slight looking lad, but certainly got plenty of aggression, plenty of courage, and takes the ball forward. He only knows one way to go. The touch judge is on the far side. And although both sides at times have got reputations for being tough and playing the game with no nonsense, we've not seen touch judges on the field. The game's been played in an absolutely fantastic, tough spirit. But the way that Milner's shaping up, it looks as if the penalty is going to go the Queen's direction, and it does. So lack of discipline there from Craig Miles has cost his team territorial advantage and given it to Queens, and it's Wilkes taking the ball forward, met by 4 Sharlston defenders, but he stands strong. Simon Cook takes a charge, and Milner looking for a run round, and that's a cracking. That looks to me as if it's a fantastic set-piece try. Absolutely fantastic on the set-piece. And the big 17, Robert Crump, was on the end of it to go over and score an absolutely superb set-piece score for Queens. Well, we asked for brilliance, and I thought that brilliance would be the word to be the difference between the two sides. First of all, it was the astute kick from Saville, which Davis converted, and then of course this wonderfully performed set piece from Queens split the defence, and the big fella went diving over for a try. Absolutely fantastic. And this now with Milner shaping up to take the conversion, could be the first time that Queens have edged in front. And he just sandwiches it over the bar. So Milner is successful, and it's 10 points to 8 now. We've had more points scored than in the whole of the first half. So that's a high kick-off, and underneath it is Robinson. And that's Scott Houston that drives the ball forward. And that's Tom Prim, who was denied in the first half, if you remember, for that fantastic tackle from Kopchik. But they're coming down this short side through Townend. Townend's been an handful all afternoon. Encouragement from Luke to get up and play the ball. Robinson looking to Wilkes. Wilkes tackled by Lockwood and finished off by Miles as Luke then goes in. Milner looking to kick the ball high, and it's towards Maskell. But Maskell's safe and he's underneath it. Well, this game has flowed from end to end all afternoon. It's been an absolute superb game of rugby league to watch. And that's Hall once more driving forward. So now Burton looking to Grimshaw. Grimshaw passes to Miles. Miles throws the ball into touch. And obviously brings a large cheer from the Queen's supporters. So Wilkes looking to pass the ball long, and it lands in Morton's hands. He wasn't quite expecting it, the big centre. Munden tries to dart off from acting halfback, but Waddle is quick and covers him. So Luke passes it to Wilkes. Wilkes again, going forward towards the Sharlston 20-metre area. Milner controlling things from first pivot, passes on to Robinson. Robinson looking to pass the ball long to Houston. But Davis is there. Davis and Grimshaw. Houston. It's Simon Cook, I beg your pardon. And that's a pass to Townend. Townend goes through and dives over for a fantastic try. So Sharlston now almost definitely under the cosh, and what a change and turnaround from the first half. Both sides for long periods locked at 2-2, and defences were really strong. But is it tiredness, is it fatigue, or is it just outstanding play? Whatever the reason, the defences are opening up, and it's Queens now who've opened up the defence of Sharlston in the last 5 minutes twice, and they've taken a firm grip on this game so far. Well, with 15 minutes of the game gone in the second half, Queens do take an 8-point advantage, and 16 points to 8 they lead now. What a fantastic game this is turning out into. You wouldn't have thought that the scores would be 16-8 after 15 minutes of the second half, with the way that both defences performed in the first half, but that's the game of rugby league, and that's what makes it so special. But Queens now, you can tell that they've definitely got the tails up, the forwards are running harder and stronger. There's more urgency from acting halfback through this guy Luke, who's had a great game around the ruck for Queens. And discipline now is the key word, and as far as I'm concerned, obviously when your team is 8 points adrift, then your discipline has to be first class, because all you do is you give field advantage away, and the other team can punish you quite severely through the points that they notch up on the board, and then you're chasing the game, which makes it really difficult. So Sharlston do need to control their discipline. Milner looking to get the big guy Gummersall underway. 10 metres out now, just to the right hand side of the field. That's Scott Houston, the big 15. He stands firm. Luke looking to change direction to Townend. Townend, the scorer of the last try. He's very strong, is this lad. Must be a likely candidate for the man of the match so far. But that's Robinson. Robinson looking to Milner. Milner looking to pass the ball long, and it does find its target. And he stepped out of the tackle. And that's a try. And that's poor defence from Sharlston. What an absolutely fantastic long ball from Milner. Found its target, spun in the tackle. And I think it was Simon Cook that went over in the corner. Sharlston now really have got it all to do. But from a lack of discipline, the ball was kicked into touch. Queens planted themselves to this right-hand side of the field. They knew exactly what they were doing. Two long balls, one from Robinson to his half-back partner Milner. Spun the ball long. It hit its target out wide in Cook. Cook spun, got away from his tackler and managed to get over in the corner. And another lack of discipline from Lee Maskell. Must have said something out of turn to the match official. The match official had no alternative than to send him for 10 minutes to the sin bin. Milner then comes up, strikes the ball, and it's just to the left-hand side of the post. So Sharlston struggling to come to terms with the ferocity of the attack from Queens. So Bell then restarts the game, and his side trail by 12 points. And there's about 18 minutes of the second half remaining. So it's going to take an absolutely massive effort for Sharlston to get something now out of this game, being a man down. So the link between Robinson. If Matty Bell could have held on to the ball there, he would have been clean under the sticks, and then it would have been game on. As it was, it didn't quite happen. But the usual link for Queens has been the interpassing between Milner and Robinson. It's been quite effective in the way that they've shifted the ball from left to right or right to left and caused problems for Sharlston on either flank. Wilkes has been a non-stop worker for Queens. Gets the ball away in the tackle, and Winter almost gets away, but he's just tackled by Potter and Milner. Milner to Robinson once more. Robinson looking to shift the ball wide. This is Munden into the attack, steps inside Grimshaw, but Grimshaw holds on and tackles the player, puts him to the ground. Robinson shoots off. Milner once more. Milner long ball, this time to Brown. Brown gets the ball away in the tackle. Wilkes passes the ball to the try scorer. He looks big and strong and hard, but this time he's tackled by Potter and he's in touch before he can get rid of the ball. But Queens are not frightened to spread the ball the full width of the pitch, left to right or right to left, and it's causing Sharlston to scramble and look at the Sharlston players head on hands, or hands on head should I say, and they're really struggling to keep up with this side who've definitely got the tails up. Craig Duda on the field now. Duda passes to Brook. Brook brings his side up to the 20-metre area. And that's Kopchik. And Saville trying to get the quick, play the ball and get his team moving forward. And that's Hall, who runs into a solid tackle from Cook and from Luke. And Lockwood trying to get round the outside. This time he does get away, and that's a fantastic run from Lockwood. And if that's what your team need, if it needs inspiration, then Lockwood has just given them a little bit of that. Gets the ball back inside. Suspected forward pass and a knock on from Danny Burton, who's had an outstanding game. But the referee was there again, and he's made an absolutely fantastic impact on this game as the referee. Every decision so far, I believe, has been the right one. And that's Wilkes. Wilkes again. Gets the ball away to Morton. Morton looks as if he's got a little bit of pace, and if he gets away, would probably take some catching. But the Sharlston defence just managed to keep hold of him. Winter takes the ball forward. Luke. It's the ball to James Brown. Brown had an outstanding game for a prop forward. He's just slowly but surely worked his way into this game. He's picked up a bit of cramp, I think. And I suppose it's to be expected. It's been absolutely end-to-end stuff, and the game's been really, really fast. And he's been on the field for the whole duration of it. Wilkes loses his footing. This is Gummersall taking it forward, and he's brought to ground. Fifth and last tackle, Milner. What's Milner going to do? It looks like a drop goal from Milner. Stands and plants, and that was expertly executed. So Bell gets the game underway again, and this time Munden, the fullback, brings it forward. There's a little bit more urgency in the way that Sharlston are defending, and it has to increase. They have to up the tempo now, and in a small respect have to chase the game a little bit as Winter almost gets free. Remember, Sharlston still one man down with Maskell being in the sin bin. Another lack of discipline. And Queens, in fairness, have taken the game to Sharlston. And Sharlston have found it at times hard to defend against it. And this time, a little head-eye shot seen by the referee, and Milner will put the ball into touch. Luke gets it to Gummersall. Gummersall drives forward a little step, gets round Miles, but tackled by Lockwood, by Hall. And this is Brown, the other prop, that takes it forward and sets Queens up centre field. They've got an attacking option both sides. This time it's Robinson. Robinson to Milner. Milner looking to go on his own. No space available for him though, so the tackle is taken. Robinson going forward. Robinson dances and skips and tries to break the Sharlston defence, but can't do so. It's holding strong at the moment. Luke comes back towards Milner. Milner, will he use the kick? No, he'll use the long ball. Looking for the big fella out wide again was Milner. And I must say that the substitutions that Queens have made have been quite influential. Had a big influence on the game so far. The big prop dived over underneath the sticks, if you remember, and it was that guy, Cook, I think, that scrambled over in the corner as well from that long astute pass from Milner. So a penalty then. To Sharlston. 13 minutes of the game remaining. Sharlston need a try to be scored pretty quickly. 13 points adrift. 2 full scores and 1 point then adrift. So obviously they need to get something on the board pretty quickly, and this is Hall. Hall's tried hard and gets the ball away, and Lockwood looks to charge at the defence and does so when perhaps he would have been better served than to push it a little bit wider. So Burton steps inside and he's had the ball pulled from him. Yes, on a one-on-one, the ball's been pulled from him. And the ball went in a backwards direction, so Queens will get possession. And that's Sharlston. Sharlston running strong. And taking some putting down of the big players from Queens. The big substitutes that have come on have really made an impact, as I say. Winter charging forward. Looks a bit of a live wire, does the winger Winter. And this is Gummersall. Gummersall takes it forward and gets rid of the ball in the tackle. And that's Robinson. Robinson looks to Cook, who's got some pace. Gets the ball out of the back door. Maskell. It was Maskell that actually knocked on. So it was Cook who tried to shove the ball out of the back door, and in doing so it was Maskell that knocked on, and it was the touch judge just below us that gave the knock on. This is Wilkes. Wilkes looking. It's a knock on, yes. The ball went in a forward direction to start with. And he is complaining to the officials, but it won't make any difference. But everything that Queens are doing at the minute is causing Sharlston problems, and had he have taken that ball, then who knows, could have gone clean through. As this is Miles going in a sideways direction, and he passes to Potter, and Potter comes back in field. Ten and a half minutes of the game remaining. What can Sharlston do? They need something special from the likes of Davis or perhaps Maskell. This is Duda. Duda trying to get rid of the ball in the tackle and does so. But it's Tigerish tackling from Fletcher and from the hooker, Luke, but gives a penalty away. So Bell will put the ball up towards this top end. And if Sharlston do have a chance in this game, they must score from this set of 6. It's important that Sharlston score from this next set. That's Lockwood setting the platform. And this is Burton. Burton, can he drive forward? Burton does drive forward. And he's about 3 to 4 metres short of the line. Saville. Short ball to Duda. Duda looking for Davis on the charge. But Davis could not keep hold of the ball. And you've got to give credit to the way that the Queen's Club have defended. Suspiciously like a forward pass to me, but got away with it. And we're on the 40-metre line. It's Fletcher again taking it forward, just keeping Sharlston pinned in one zone. And then they seem to spin the ball out wide and catch Sharlston out wide. And here it comes. Houston lets the ball go. Wilkes not able to get rid of the ball in the tackle. But this is Robinson. Robinson fires the ball to Milner. Milner gets the ball away in the tackle to Townend. Townend breaks the first one, breaks the second one, runs across the field. Dummies, comes inside. Had a fantastic game as the centre. That's Wilkes. What will Wilkes do here? Lets the ball go long. That's Morton. Morton steps on the inside. Brown's there. End-to-end stuff from Queens at the moment. Sharlston really struggling to cope with it. And that's Milner with another kick. And that'll eat the clock away. About 7.5 minutes of the game remaining, and in all fairness, the game seems to be slipping away from Sharlston. Maskell. 3 Queen's players round him. Dickens will go in, he'll try and make the ball available. But the defenders have wrapped the ball up, which is credit to them. Saville darts off, Saville makes a break, does he? Nobody there with him, but just lost his footing at the last minute. Fantastic tackle from Brown. The ball goes wide and it's Waddle. Waddle steps back inside, but again the defence is strong. Bell pushes the ball to Hall. Hall tries to get the ball away in the tackle and loses it. And that's what you get from trying to chase the game. Sharlston have got no alternative. They've got to try and offload the ball in the tackle. They've got to try and create something. But Queens have done everything right this afternoon. Wilkes once more. Luke in at acting half-back. And he's looking for Brown. Brown's had a fantastic game. And breaks clear. Who's with Brown? Oh, tries the dummy. Gets rid of the ball. And it looks as if Sharlston are short in numbers to this right-hand side. Will it come this way? And it will. Robinson to Milner. What's Milner got? He's got... Oh, absolutely superb tackle from Duda. Milner felt that one. But this is Cook, is it? Cook goes low. It looked to me as if he'd scored and he'd bounced back up, but touch judge right there. He said that he was short. Referee said that he was short, but look where Sharlston are. They've got to try and come away from that corner. Only 5 minutes left, 13 points adrift. You would think now that this game was beyond them. One lad that's tried hard and could hold his head up high is Hall. He's driven the ball hard and strong and took it forward all game. That's Bell. What can Bell do? Bell has put the ball forward for Potter. Can Potter collect? Potter, he can't collect, so it's play on. But you've got to try something when you're 13 points down and there's only 5 minutes left. You've just got to try it. And Winter, another lad that's had an outstanding game. Wilkes. Wilkes again in at acting half-back, and this is Robinson. Robinson goes across field, gets away from one, can't get away from Miles. This is Fletcher. Fletcher takes the ball. Fletcher looking just to take it centre field. 2 attacking options once more. This is Milner. Is Milner lining up for another drop goal? He's not. No, he's taking the ball forward and he kicks it over the top, and that's Morton that collects. But his pass comes inside and it's collected by Waddle. Three minutes left now. Hall once more. But I think you can safely say that this game, this final, is going in the direction of Queens. And to be perfectly honest, they have enjoyed most of the possession in this second half. And they've been absolutely superb. That's Dickens with a big kick upfield. And that just sums up Sharlston's performance today. They've not been able to get anything out of the game because the defence of the Queen's outfit's been absolutely superb. They've restricted Sharlston to 1 try, which was a little kick behind the defence. Nobody's actually broke the line of defence. And that's credit to the way that this team have been coached by Richard Milner and through assistant Andy Wilson. and they're still pushing on for some more scores. And this is Fletcher. Fletcher takes it forward. I think that the Queen's outfit know that the game is theirs. There's just 2 minutes of the game left. Wilkes takes it forward once more. And another drop goal attempt. And that just adds insult to injury as Queens take another point. And that's another drop goal from Milner, who's been the kicking inspiration behind the side. And it does knock the stuffing out of teams, especially in finals. There's just 1 minute, 30 seconds left of the game. 22-8. And that's a good pick-up by Cook. And this is Townend. Townend driving it forward. Robinson then to Wilkes. Wilkes breaks free. And that's Luke then. Luke to Robinson. Robinson to Milner. Milner looking to Brown. Brown's had an absolutely fantastic game at prop forward. Just 18 seconds of the game left now. And Milner chips over the top. Oh! Dear me! He chipped over the top and was hit head high. But the penalty will have to be taken. The penalty will have to be taken. The chip over the top was astute. He actually went forward, and had he have regathered it, he could have possibly scored, but he's taken off his feet. And they're going to take 2 points, and with no time left on the scoreboard, it's a possible 24-8 victory for Queens. And whilst we've got this time, you can only admire the way that the Queen's outfit have played. The defence has been absolutely solid. The first half it was solid, and who knew that the second half would turn out like this? But you've got to give credit to the way that the Queen's club have played. Absolutely fantastic link between forwards and backs through the half-backs Robinson and Milner. The centres have played superbly, and the forwards that came on had the strength and the power to split the Sharlston defence. No answer from Sharlston Rovers today. And you can honestly, safely say that the team that performs the best on the day will take the spoils. And that's what's happened here at Post Office Road. What a fantastic performance to the Queen's Club. Before the presentation takes place, look at the Queen's players there shouting and singing towards the spectators that have come to support them today. And they've done themselves proud, and the spectators can be very proud of their players. And the winning team take all the glory, and the losers, they just have to make do with it, and it's a sad day for them. But the big wheel always turns, and sometimes Sharlston have been in finals and they've done exactly that. Yes, and James Brown gets the man of the match. Been absolutely superb, was on the field all game. Took the game forward. Well done, James Brown, the Queen's number 10. Well, as Sharlston come up, they can take credit in the way that they've played, especially in the first half. The first half performance was absolutely superb. Both teams tied for a long period at 2-2. But in the second half, Queens took control of the game, and whatever Sharlston did, it was just not quite good enough to get a foothold in the game. And Queens went from strength to strength. So we're going to listen for this big roar from the crowd as Queens come up to receive the trophy. And look at the delight and the joy on the players as they come up to receive their medals. I think it was billed as a clash of the Titans, and in the end it proved to be exactly that, and the gladiators left standing were the Queen's Club. Some absolutely superb individual performances, certainly none more than the two half-backs, Milner and Robinson, who combined all game to set the link between the forwards and the backs. The centres, Townend and Morton, were absolutely superb as well. And as the cup is lifted aloft, you're going to hear a big roar, and there it goes. Queens from Burley Road in Leeds are the Yorkshire Cup winners. Oh 07, 08. Man of the match. What type of feeling does that? What's it like?
Words can't explain it. How I feel now. See all them lot jumping about like that. All my mates from around my area.
Oh,
it's unbelievable feeling. Better than we won National Cup in 18s. Now we've come over here and beat these. It's unbelievable.
First half, massive performance from Queens, but also a fantastic performance from Sharlston. Only 2 points separated you. What was the feeling at half time?
Nervous, very nervous, tired as well. We're just said in changing rooms really, when they get stuck in, because playing it up this hill, it doesn't look like much, we're quite a big goal. Get stuck in and pin them down in there, we just forced a mistake, which we did.
And your stamina for a prop forward, you stayed on, I think, all the game. You were absolutely, you suffered with a little bit of cramp, but to be honest, James, you took the ball forward. And how did you feel? Did you feel yourself that you were in line for a shot at the man of the match?
No, not really. I never really thought about it. Really, I thought Ryan Robinson, Jonathan Milner, and Simon Cook when he come on, Stevie Morton, all had outstanding games. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, James, we were talking up on the gantry there as the game was progressing, and your game progressed, and you've thoroughly deserved the man of the match today.
Thank you.
I spoke with Andy Wilson prior to the game, and he said that all through the season, your kicking game and the way that you'd sort of had a partnership with Robinson, he said that was going to be one of the major factors today. Do you think it worked?
Yeah, I thought me and Ryan played really well today. Been working all season. And just good for lads up, all best for lads.
And of course the link between you and Robinson as well, did you work on that in training? The link, obviously spreading the ball about, did you think that we're going to pull Sharlston from one side of the field to the other?
Well, we went to watch them a few weeks ago, they had big forwards, thought I'd just spray it about a bit, and just pull the forwards about, and we did it in training and it's worked.
And of course, once you got a foothold in the game, then there was an opportunity obviously to go for the one-pointer.
Well, yeah, I thought, we're a couple of points ahead, wait for a point, get the ball back and dig deep again and just keep working at them, and unfortunately it worked for us.
And just at the very end there, a little bit of lack of discipline from Sharlston. I think if that chip over, I think if you'd have been allowed to go through, you could have perhaps scored, and maybe, who knows, you might have pitched Brown his title of man of the match.
Well, that's what I was looking for, but all credit to the lad, he took me out, so we just took the 2 points and finished the game.
Well, if you remember, Andrew, back to the pre-match interview, we sort of said, if there was one aspect of the team's game plan today that would win you the game, you said you'd prefer to tell me two. One was the discipline, which I think was very strong.
Yeah.
Another, you said, defence.
Yeah.
Just tell me that those two aspects were the key factors. I'm sure they were.
They were, yeah. We earmarked them before the beginning of the game. Towards the back end of their game, Sharlston aren't known as a niggly side, but they start to niggle a bit, and I'm glad in terms of our discipline that we held out, because there were a couple of instances there when a couple of the guys got a sin bin that it could have gone either way, but officials looked after it. But I'm glad our discipline held up. His defence was spot on, it was tough. First half it was a bit nip and tuck, but going down the hill we realised that we were going to be too fast and too strong for them, and we were.
And of course, you talked about defence. There's no way that it looked like any Sharlston player was going to split you, and the only way that they could do that was to actually put the ball behind your defence, which they did for that first kick.
Yeah, they did. When you've got defences, you need to, as strong as ours too, because Sharlston's, it held out. You've got to look for a little place to break up your line, and that's what they did. We went the direct route. but we started to play a little bit more better football towards the back end of the second half, which helped us out as well.
Yeah, what I noticed in particular through the game and how it progressed was the link between Robinson and Milner, and you spread the ball pretty much wide, whereas Sharlston didn't seem to play with the same width that you did.
Well, there was a couple of periods there which I know it kind of worked out for us. We didn't want us to play as wide as what we did, because we felt it wasn't going to be as an open game as what it was. What we'd have preferred to have done was see out the sets of 6 and build on the pressure and pick up the pieces from there. But as it turned out, we, as I say, we were a little bit stronger, a little bit faster than them in the second half. And this famous hill here at the John Moore Stadium has always been famous for getting out that bottom end, and I think they struggled to get out that bottom end, and did as well. I'm speechless.
Well, and so you should be, but what I found as well is that quite astutely, and I don't know if this was purposely done, but the substitutes that you brought on had a tremendous impact on the game. Certainly 2 of them scoring big tries, one under the sticks just after Sharlston had scored, which was a fantastic time to obviously reply. And then the long pass from Milner found Cook out on the wide side over there, and he scored in the corner. So the substitutions were absolutely brilliant. The big set of lads as well.
Big and mobile. And we knew that this hill would save them 2, particularly for the second half going downhill. Both quick lads, and I think we scored our tries just at the right time. They went in. They got the first try of the game, which went, I'd like to think, against the run of play, but never mind. And we kept us composure, and we were always there looking and probing. I'm over the moon.
And so you should be, Andrew. I thought the team overall were the best team on the day. They played some absolutely fantastic football, and the defence was good, the discipline was good, and all round the team thoroughly deserved to take this Yorkshire Cup final today. And congratulations to yourself and to obviously Richard Milner, who's put a lot of hard work in, who isn't quite here today, but I'm sure will enjoy this video.
Well, I've just rang him now. And he found it, he was having people texting him and ringing him all the way through the game. So yeah, both myself and Righty stood in today. But as I say, all the plaudits and all the hard work needs to be gone down to Bash, who turns up on a Tuesday and a Thursday and puts all the hard work in and does all the work with them. We've just there on these 80 minutes. Just to help the lads out. But yeah, you're right. Bash, Richard Milner is the man who deserves all the plaudits.